I want to make this video on problem solving and just verbally process this in a way. What I'm thinking of is how I see so many friends or family members, or I see myself looking at other things as the solution or the thing that'll get me where I think I want to go. I see family members who have an interest in music get married and then they stop doing music. Or I see people who love music look at somebody else as a content creator being the one that can bring something to life for them. I have successful business friends who are in a business and they think that a relationship is the thing that's going to make them get where they want to be. I see stuff like this. Like I see myself look at other projects and being able to start stuff as the solution. What I want to propose or work out verbally is the idea that the solution is not in something else. The solution is inside of you. Always has been. And the challenge of life is to, number one, to become aware of that, to acknowledge it, to say, yes, okay, the solution's not going to be the relationship that brings me feelings. The solution is not the material thing that I get. The solution is not going to be the success that I get once I've completed all the things. The solution itself is actually within yourself. The solution is to acknowledge that you've got to dig deep and start looking in the mirror. Like that Michael Jackson song, I'm starting to look at the man in the mirror. That's what I'm talking about. I think that if you've got a system in your life happening that is not achieving the kind of result that you feel truly fulfilled with, the thing you need to look at is inside of you. Sometimes psychiatric help is the most beneficial thing that you can stumble upon, because it will reveal to you this long list of what you have been operating by, that psychiatrists are like, oh, that's ADHD. you simply just have this happening. Let's figure it out, and then let's get you operating better. Oh, you've got borderline personality disorder. Or talking to people, it's the solution, because it'll reveal to you, oh, I've got codependence. And people going to substances or alcohol, like, oh, I've got it. I don't think that people are alcoholics. I think that a lot of people are actually just not acknowledging the emotions that they rightfully should be able to feel. And then people aren't given the systems to be able to deal with those emotions. That's what causes people to go to alcohol or go to weed or go to nicotine or go to these things. And then ultimately those vices, they take over a little bit because they are known to be addictive. It's not a bad thing to have those things in your life, but the downfall is when you don't find a system that's sustainable, that can really help you long term, and to build health a better way, that can build wealth in a better way, that can build a healthy means of communicating with people a better way. What you lose by not facing yourself, by not looking within, is you become pulled by everything outside of you, looking for the answer, looking for the solution. And I propose to you, particularly because we're at a time where the excuses are null. We've got ChatGPT and Google and every tool available for individuals to be able to utilize on the internet. When you've got a problem, here's what I do. I go to ChatGPT, say, here's the problem. What are some feasible solutions that I can look at that could help me? And you get a whole printout of what it could solve for you. Got some neighbors that I got to say hi to. How you guys doing? So your problem is within yourself. Just like you got something misticking in an engine in a car. Okay, I'm driving and I start hearing noise in the engine. Yeah, I can go to somebody to see if they can solve it. The energy exchange that's important there is that You've got to have money to be able to have somebody who's able to identify where the problem in the engine is. But ultimately, I shouldn't go and find another car. I mean, you could find another car. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, to solve the problem inside the engine, you don't go and start looking at a new engine. You've got to go within it. Yeah. How would I finish this thought? I remember seeing this post by Jay Alvarez saying that aloneness is your most natural state of being. Aloneness. When everything's stripped away, when the people you care about are stripped away, when your religion and faith is stripped away, when I go so far as saying if God is stripped away and it's just you. Jesus knows what it's like to have God being stripped away. Look in your Bible, that's what it says. When even the ability to communicate is stripped away, what are you left with? When the things that excite you are stripped away, when your caffeine in the morning is stripped away. Whoa, that's one for some people. When your weed after having a long day of work is stripped away, what are you left with? Here's where I'll lead that thinking, because a lot of these things, you take them away from you, like, that is a challenge. I acknowledge one of the biggest challenges. What you want to be aware of is that in order to reprogram habits, it takes about 66 days. Tai Lopez talks about that. He's got an incredible course called 67 Steps. It takes 66 days to reset and to buy into a new habit and to get rid of old habits. If you're wanting to reprogram your habits, well, number one, find out what it is you want to adopt with them first. You're really laser focused on what you want. Find somebody that's already done that, what it is that you want to do. Tony Robbins talks about blueprints. Everything's already been done. Your job is just to reverse engineer stuff. I mean, man, look at the Bible is literally just a reverse engineering book. I was reading 1 Kings 7 through 11 the other day. It's about King Solomon. If you don't know about that guy, he's the wisest that ever lived. Also the richest that ever lived. This guy's downfall, though, was that he married all the women from tribes that God said were off limits. So what happened to the wisest, richest man is God fulfilled his commitment, but he cut out the fulfillment moving forward. So King Solomon got everything God told him he would give, but then God cut out the rest and gave it to somebody else. When you read about those chapters, it's like reading a textbook on how to build the temple. Every single dimension is written out there. I was reading it and I was like, this stuff kind of feels irrelevant. Then I looked at where we are today and I thought, wait, ChatGPT is like this prompting machine. I give it the words and it works out the results. I could literally, with the right artificial intelligence coding large language model, which I know they're out there, I don't have any in the top of my mind right now to think about. What you can do with the written word is you can have 3D models created in unbelievable time. You put in the digital file of words, and then through computational power, everything is processed quickly in whatever time that processor is able to process all of those words. It'll read every single dimension, every single detail that you outline in that, and then it'll print out a solution, all in seconds for our experience time. That's God time. All right? What do I mean by that? Like, the Bible says that to God a day is 1,000 years, and a year is like a day. Meaning it's timeless. It's timeless. At least this is my deduction, right? I'm just who I am is Epic World, and I speak honestly and authentically of my experience. And hopefully a few of the things that I can share can be wise thought schools for you to consider. That's my ultimate hope, is to help from my experience. Like, I don't wish that anybody has to be homeless for a month the way I was. I don't wish that anybody has to question God to the levels that I have in order to then have their faith rooted. I hope and wish on nobody that they lose friends the way that I did because of toxic drugs. I hope and wish that nobody has to make that fight for their lives to where they end up in a psych ward and then realize that intoxicants have actually taken dominion of their mind, and so they've got to stand up mentally and go through that process of weaning away from those substances and becoming more clear. What I do wish and pray is that all of us in this universe, in this reality that we're in, that we're able to teach each other, and that we're able to learn from the things that are happening from other people's lives, and ultimately, as Tai Lopez says, stand on the shoulders of giants. When somebody else has something happen that didn't work for them, allow that to teach you how to understand from their steps what it is that you can then implement in your steps and to make better decisions. That's what frameworks allow. Oh man. Yeah, so with all of that being said, what I want to encourage for you is that you do not shy away from the day of small beginnings. Every single thing, just like Jesus says, have faith as small as a mustard seed. Just like a building built out of bricks or built out of wood, it all starts with a single brick or a single piece of wood. Just like a walk begins with a single step. Just like going to the gym and becoming Mr. Olympia, Arnold Schwarzenegger, becoming a governor, all of those things, they begin with a single word, a single decision. But the commonality between them all is dedication and commitment, right? Even something like Bitcoin started with a single block, right? Blockchain, for those of you who have not put in the time to understand why Bitcoin is so powerful, I do encourage you to do that. Blockchain is a set of code. So the chain is the code itself that goes from the first one, the first block, so to speak. Really, it's just an entire writing of code, like a Word Excel sheet. The whole chain continues in sequence in a way where everything is changed to itself, just like you would see a literal chain hooking onto itself. And all the transactions that are happening on Bitcoin are publicly available for anybody to go back and look at. But it all started with that single chain with Satoshi, with unknown creator of Bitcoin. It all starts with a single step. Do not shy away from the day of small beginnings. It's like me becoming sober this year. That began with a single day. For nicotine, that was January 1st when I was able to recommit. I'd already tried a few times before that, but I hadn't committed to the level that, and I didn't use the strategies I did until January 1st. To be honest, that New Year psychology did help for me. Some other strategies that really helped with sticking with it was I imagined the self-concept that I wanted to embody in the future, which is now. I imagined that I would be a male who does not have intoxicants running his body, because I believed internally that's what I'm wanting to present in attraction for a female partner. I'm not one to be led by external things. Back to what I really just had this whole video inspired by. I did not want stuff outside of me to have the power. I'm laughing because I hear my tone of voice and it almost sounds like not nagging, but like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Self-conscious of myself, I guess. Start with the person in the mirror. That's what I'm saying. Start with the person in the mirror. As life goes on, that is just it. Life goes on. You start losing a lot more. 444 on a license plate. Life goes on. What are you gonna do with it? There was this saying that inspired me today, where 1717. Well, I see these numbers everywhere, sequential numbers, repeating numbers like 444, like 1717. 171 was a big one yesterday. 777's today. What was that saying that was coming to mind is that those who do not take consistent action and put in the time and energy for their own dreams will inevitably be hired and trained in order to bring someone else's dreams into a reality. It all starts within you. That's what the song that I'm working with Jeff Johnson on is about. The power is within you. 'Cause you've been running long, searching for something to make you strong. You swear it's out there, could you be wrong? Look inside yourself and know mistakes will fade. It was a song that was spurred out of this realization that all my life I was putting so much of this. I was trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for God, and not, or trying to get an answer from the universe, or trying to make sure that, like, if a decision is to be made, that I'm making it in accordance with what God's will is. And then when these intoxicants were being pulled out of my life, like, it felt like, how do I say this without offending religious people? I guess I'm just going to offend anybody no matter what. So it was like this. I thought, it felt like God said, okay, if I was taken out of the equation, who would you be doing this for? What are you doing this for? How would you do it if you are God? And nothing else is needing to provoke your forward movement. Where are you going to get the power? So I realized that's what we've been designed and created to have the ability to do. You are able to cultivate faith just as the day always comes up. just as the night always follows the day. One thing that God's created this universe to do is to sustain itself. It's all well, it's kind of spiraling. It seems in many ways out of control, and yet there is no out of control on the grand scheme of things. We're in that Goldilocks zone on planet Earth, or flat edged Earth, whatever you call it. Everything starts with the day of small beginnings, just like you. There was ultimately a day where you spawned onto this plane of existence. That's the most important thing. The other saying that I read was how the two most important days in an individual's life are the day that they were born and the day that they find out why they were born. I want to leave you with that question. Can you think of why you were born? If you haven't discovered it fully, completely, there's your self-dedicated work, your self-directed work. You were born alone, but you are never alone. To realize that the whole universe is a synchronistic dance of everything evolving and experiencing its own self. It's a beautiful thing. I've talked about a couple of different things in this video that I haven't gone in depth with, but I've got the summary of 2020 to 2025 in my homework right now. I was considering doing a more cleaned up video version of it, but no, instead I want minimum viable product posted, so I'm gonna get back and finish that video up and then post it here. And what I want to say is I'm really appreciative of you here, and I'm curious what you've got out of this. So would you let me know, and let's start a conversation with each other. I guess I did start a conversation with you. Now I'm putting it in your court. All right. Epic World out.